Everybody. This is Travis with Travis's Comic Haven, coming to you with another independent comic book creator interview. I have none other than Debi Johnston with Steele Legacy Comics here with me. She is from Texas. She has written things such as Love Me Tender, Uber Girl, and Titan Anomaly. Um, Very good stuff. Very good stuff. This has been something in the making for quite a while. And finally, she was gracious enough to be like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. So, without further ado, Ms. Johnston, go ahead and give me a little bit of background about you.
Well, you said it best. I'm from Texas. I am born and raised. I work in the event industry. I'm known as the party girl. I do a lot of my regular job is a lot of weddings and parties and things like that. I've done that for almost 20 years. I am married with children, and I have dove off into this world officially or publicly this last year, and I'm super excited to be here tonight with you. And I'm glad I finally committed, and I'm super nervous,
Don't
but
no need to be
excited.
nervous. No need to be nervous. This is all about getting to know you, to know your work, and to get your work out there even more.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different platform for you to do that on. So let's get started with how did you get into comic books? Was it something that you got into when you were a little girl and you read Marvel and DC and it just hooked you? So how did that come about?
So I had two older brothers, and growing up, they had a large collection of comics. As you can tell behind me, we're collectors of many things, and they had a lot of Superman and Shazam and just Supergirl, all these different comics. And so I, being the annoying sister, would five finger discount them and go read them in my room, and then have to fight my way to get more. But I really enjoyed that. Losing yourself in a fantasy world of superheroes kind of started it all. And growing up in the country, there's not a lot of entertainment. So that, you know, losing yourself in your mind doing that was a lot of fun. So that's pretty much a thank you to my brothers.
So with that being said, you mentioned a couple titles that they did. Was there any titles that really back then really what do I want to say hooked you to where you were a big fan of? I know you said Shazam, but were there any titles that weren't necessarily your brothers at one point that you got hooked into?
No, just really all the Supermans more than anything. I really embody that, mentality that there's a superhero in all of us. I know you've heard that say that's cliche, but to me that really means something. And just someone you can relate to, I guess you could say. That really gets me. Now, I will tell you, I watched a lot of Wonder Woman reruns, not when it was on. I'm not that old, but I watched a lot of Wonder Woman on television, and I really, attached to her. Now, I will tell you, when I was 11, I can remember sitting in the movie theater and watching Batman, and was hooked on, Michael Keaton, his character, and Jack Nicholson, the Joker. So titles as far as the comic goes, just all of those, DC, some Marvel, but Superman was mainly my main comic books that I got a hold of. I wish I still had those actual books today because they would be worth a fortune. So
Now, you said you're a collector of many things. Looking behind you, is there any comics that you still collect today? Are there current
um
runs that you still are into, or are you just kind of off doing your own independent thing and that kind of went to the wayside?
I do like going to the comic book stores and picking. I actually have, some Wonder Woman. I really enjoyed that. But yes, to be completely honest with you, I am so immersed in my own stuff now, that still matters to me. But my projects, my works, is what, in my opinion, is the most important thing right now. And time management's a real problem. So I don't really have a lot of time. I feel terrible about that. I do enjoy watching a lot of folks do their new comic book Thursdays and just kind of, I'm going to get back to it. Like I said, time management's a real problem. But yeah, so I'm still nervous.
So when did it come across to you that you were going to be an independent comic creator? What was that experience like in knowing that this is what I want to do?
So this is a kind of a long story.
That's fine.
Um, I love being creative. I love expressing myself at all times. I'm a fun person. I'm always cutting up. There's a lot of things that I can't say in real life that I can express in my comics. A lot of real life experiences when you read my stories. Some of them are me. um, to be completely honest with you, about 5 years ago, I had a tremendous loss. I lost my brother and I lost my parents 99 days apart. That was very difficult. I had to dig my way out of, for lack of a better term, some depression, I guess you could say, and started tapping into the creative side, and it just really took off. And it gave me a sense of something to look forward to and have fun with again. So I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but that's the truth of it. And a lot of y'all that follow a lot of my social platforms, I share a lot of that with everybody, and I'm excited to share that with people because life is hard, and the comics help me kind of lighten it up, you know. So, but that's really what pushed me into it, and it just took off from there like a grass fire, you know.
So with being, first off, I'm sorry for that happening. Nobody should ever have to go through that. Um,
Yeah.
so with being an independent comic book creator, what was that process like? What were some of your struggles in doing this, and what were some of the positive aspects of doing this?
Um, I would say a lot of the struggles would be, well, like I mentioned before, time management. I run a business. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. Um, family, juggling the balance, then trying to find time for myself, the creative outlet, to be consistent. Because once I started realizing I could do this, then it's like, okay, and I put it out there, and then people want more, and then they want more, and it's like, oh gosh, like okay. And so, like I said, the time management, then the learning the software, and learning the how I do it. YouTube tutorials are a wonderful thing. I'm very self-taught in everything I do. Um, and so, that's mainly the real struggle, is just learning how to do it, put it together, and be taken seriously. I will say also, being a female, being taken seriously, it's a male dominated thing. And which is no big deal. I love it. I have been completely welcomed into this world by everybody, from conventions to the platforms to just everything. It's quite fascinating, and it's like a whole nother family. So as far as struggles, I can't really say a whole lot of struggles, just time management, but it's still fresh for me being out there.
So I always ask this question. Do you have any aspirations in joining a larger publication, as in like DC or Marvel?
I sure do.
You sure do.
And
Now,
I
with that being said, I'm not going to have you pick one because I don't want you to, well, I have a favorite child, but one of them or both of them want to bring you on. Is it something that you want to take your own material with you and still have the rights to it, or do you want to leave your material for your independent side and choose one of the pre-existing characters that they have within their publication?
I would love to go forward. I have actually already shot my shot with one of these big. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I wrote DC, and I'm not heavy on DC. I love DC. I love Marvel. I don't have a favorite. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to lose anybody here. But I'm a big fan of DC. I have actually sent some stuff in just to see. I mean, because why not? You know. And I would love to take my characters. I would love to put them out there. I think that they're wonderful, and I think that their stories need to be heard, and I think they need character development. And I would love to meet other writers and collaborate. I would just love that. I am a little torn because I do like the independent side. It's the bread and butter. It's the old hometown feel. It's the I don't know. I'm a little torn about it, but yes, I would like to. DC, if you're listening, read my letter. So, but yeah, I've to answer your question. Yeah, I would love to. I think that would be amazing, especially like I said, touch on it again as a female. I would love to get the opportunity. I think that would be awesome because if anybody's read my comics, you'll know that it's definitely out there, but it's definitely good.
So what was the first comic that you wrote?
The Titan Anomaly.
Titan Anomaly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I kind of know because I read it and got to see the visual of it, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of the inspiration is, but that's my opinion. So I want to hear it from you. What was the inspiration for that book and the reason for writing that type of story?
It was an idea that just came to me. Kind of what happens when the everyday person gains superpowers. At first, I wanted to write her that, she went berserk and was an unstoppable villain. Because, again, some of these stories, especially Dana, little reflection of Debbie, okay? Going through it. And sometimes it's, I want to wreck it. But no, I pulled back. And as I kept writing about her, I'm like, I like this girl. What am I doing? And I wanted to be a superhero story for a force of good as I kept writing her. But the entire story has a deeper history that goes back over 100 millennia. So I keep writing and writing and writing. She keeps going and going and going, and it just keeps getting better and better. So as far as that goes, Dana was originally supposed to be a supervillain and be bad, and she's actually a good girl.
All righty then. So this is one of the big points for me, and I've been looking forward to talking about this. And we've talked about it before. As soon as I read your material and messaging you back and forth, your writing is spot on. Your storytelling is phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's the artwork that blew me away when I first was thumbing through this, and I was like, oh wow, this isn't your stereotypical like hand drawn artwork in ink and color.
Mm-hmm.
Your artwork is made through a software that makes it look like, and I'm just gonna say it to kind of bring things together. Whoever's listening is, if you think of a video game or like Grand Theft Auto, the visuals of your art are like that. It's like a video game style art.
Yes.
What made you want to do something like that?
I can't draw. And that's the God honest truth. I can't draw.
Touche. All right. Well, there went
I
that
love Alex
question, but
Ross. I wish I had this much talent that he has. Okay, I don't, and it's not consistent. Oh, I can draw a picture, but I can't keep illustrating the same thing over and over again. I can't. However, I'm very good with the computer,
there
and
you go.
I'm pretty smart. And again, thank you YouTube tutorials. They have helped me fix a lot of things from my dishwasher to my comics.
Because you've gone as far as to do still shots for your comics to make your panels. And then you
Correct.
went even a step further and you've actually made short animation videos that you've posted on your social media platforms as well to give it
Yes.
animation and movement. Um, and I'm not sure, have you been able to give it voice as well?
I have a few friends that have been kind of helping me with that, but that's actually kind of the next step. I do enjoy bringing them to life. Now, I will say I have caught a lot of flack doing that. I get called ugly names. People use words AI trash, and no, I'm trying to animate it so people can immerse themselves even more. I'm a visual person. I'm trying to make it more visual for people to draw them in. Um, I use DAZ. A lot of people are familiar with that, the 3D art. And yes, it is kind of, video gamey. I use the different assets and I put them all together. It is a lot of work.
Oh, I'm sure.
That and making it right and not come out, weird looking. But yeah, I just I'm losing my train of thought. I'm getting nervous again. But yeah, I do enjoy doing it that way. Again, I cannot draw, and I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So
I mean, when I first read Titan Anomaly and saw the artwork in it, I was kind of taken back by it. Like I said earlier, I was like, "Oh wow, this is not traditional,"
well, I
which
wanted
is a
something
good
different,
thing though,
right?
because there are certain points where things do become untraditional, and there's nothing wrong with change. And the way that you've used it to tell the story, to me, probably does it more justice than somebody who would hand draw it,
It
because
is
there's depth to it. There's only so much depth you can do with a hand drawn, with the shading and the coloration and stuff like that, with the inking, to get that pop and that effect. So I actually like it. I'm very happy that somebody's done that, and you do it very well. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said, it is a lot of work, and there are some days it's like I want to pull the hair out because it's like there's certain things I want to do and make happen, and it's like I'm learning as I go, literally. And you can tell those who have read the comics and they see the artwork, it's getting better and it's getting better and it's getting better. And I hope one day to make some actual animations that are little shorts. That's one of my goals. So pretty neat. I'm
You could
pretty
be a,
excited.
a one woman wrecking team.
That's the goal.
I mean, you could technically transform your own comic into its own, like, streamed TV series.
Yes, that's actually kind of the goal. So there's a
Oh,
lot of
not trying to spoil nothing. Sorry,
yeah, there's
guys.
there's a lot of ideas on up here in this head.
We've talked about Titan Anomaly. What are some other titles that you've worked on? And when you name them, go ahead and try to explain the storyline for us.
I gotcha. Well, my favorite, and again, this is I don't want to give too much away, but Love Me Tender. It's an intergalactic love story. Girl finds boy, they hit it off, they make it work. It's always fun, to write a fish out of water story, and why not add intergalactic distance in the mix? I always intended on combining it with the Titan anomaly. And there are Easter eggs that the two, they do come together. So I don't want to give too much away because I want folks to go read them. Okay. And then that way they'll be like, wait a minute. Because I had somebody email me the other day and they're like, and I was like, yes, you got it.
You picked up on the
I
Easter
love
egg.
prizes. Yes. So,
So that's Love Me Tender.
yeah.
What about, because I haven't read Love Me Tender,
Oh, you need to.
but I did read Uber Girl.
Mm-hmm.
That was no pun intended, but that was a joyride.
Yeah. I've had friends call me or people messaging. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." it's an expression of there are some experiences, I can say not all that are in that story that they're real life experiences. So in a way, it's kind of a almost therapy to let it out, But yes,
Right.
it's definitely, it's definitely different. There are a lot of, I don't want to say violence, but there's a little bit more gore and violence and whatnot in there. So be prepared, folks, because it is adult. It's not. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I kind of got carried away with that one. So,
Hey,
did
it
you read all
worked.
three?
Did I read all three? I think I read the first volume.
Okay, I'm not gonna say too much because I want you to go back. Yeah, we'll do another interview on just that. I'll do that for you. I'm getting more comfortable now. I'll interview you. How about
Now,
that?
so we went through those three titles. Was there a fourth one that I missed?
Um, no, I'm working on a bunch of other ideas and some other things. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give too much away.
Well,
But
you
I
got to
am.
give me something. What are
Ah!
we working on?
Well, the Titan anomaly is my main focus right now. I'll be completely honest with you, and crossing it over with Love Me Tender. Those two are colliding, and it is happening. And I'm actually wrote so much that it's going to be more than likely two comics out of it, not another comic, but I'm gonna have to split it off because it's wild. It's gotten a little wild. So
So with that being said, at what point do you hit a cutoff? So like at what point do you
when my
feel
child
that
comes in and says I'm hungry, no, I'm kidding.
no, I mean storyline wise. Like okay, you're creating the story and you're writing and you're writing and you're writing. At what point do you hit that wall of okay, this is it. This is done for this storyline and we have to think of another story to do?
When I feel satisfied with the character, that there's, if there's conflict, there's resolution. If there's, you know what I mean. Now, I do like a good cliffhanger. I'm not gonna lie, and I almost killed off a main character the other day, and I was like, no, 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 I can't do that. Cannot do that. Because we need it to continue on. So, I don't know. It just kind of I don't know. It just kind of depends on how I feel about how the story is going, but I don't know. I'm really like on Titan Anomaly and the Love Me Tender crossover. That one's going to continue on for a little bit. I don't want to say too much, but it's definitely just getting hotter and hotter, for lack of a better term.
So touching on that and how you've reached out to DC, let's have some fun with this.
Okay.
So let's say you can take Titan Anomaly or Love Me Tender, one or the other, and you can do a crossover event with any story arc that DC has out. What character are you picking to do a crossover with one of those books?
Hmm. You got me on that one. Let me think.
Ah, look at you sit back now. Like, oh, he got
Yeah.
me.
I would have to say probably Wonder Woman. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, well, I would love to say Supergirl, but you got me on that. Now you got me thinking. Now I want to go write another story right now.
There you go. You're welcome.
Way to go, Travis.
Hey, I'm only here to help. So I do my best to keep up with everybody who I've gotten on here who are independent creators, in what they're doing moving forward. Um, I do believe just recently I seen that you're going to be doing a convention to where you are actually going to have a booth. Is this going to be the first time doing this?
Yes. So
Okay.
I went during the summer to Dallas Fan Expo. I
Hmm.
networked and met a lot of people. And I did not have my own booth, but I actually sold a lot of comics just networking. because I do digital downloads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be in Tyler, Texas, which is Northeast Texas, at the Tyler Comic Con, November 22nd and the 23rd. And if all goes well, I'll actually have print copies of the Titan Anomaly for sale. All the digital downloads, of course, all titles that I have. But I will have a print copy of the Titan Anomaly, and I'm trying to decide on one more. I'm actually working on the proof tomorrow. They're sending me everything tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that, because it's my first one. It's a small one, but hey, you got to start somewhere, kind of like this interview, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's
Yes.
just like, I mean, you have to look at it this way as well. Um, Here in Indiana, we have a small town just a little north of where I'm at, Elkhart, Indiana. And a gentleman up there who is a real estate guy owns what's called the Hall of Heroes Museum. And it's all funded. Everything in that building he has paid for with his own money. And he has quite the collection. And it's literally just a little walk in museum of comic books. And he holds a convention every year called the Hall of Heroes Convention. He had, I'm trying to think of his name. He, oh, this is gonna irritate me because he just passed away not too long ago. Anyway, he had a big guy from Marvel came in, and it wasn't a big convention. It was small, but it was still nice to have somebody at that level to come into a small town convention and have the fans come up and talk to him.
Right.
So even though you may think it's small, but it's still big for you because it's your first.
Yes.
So not everything's going to go well that day. There are going to be some bumps in the road. Your table might, not have the same size leg on one end that it has on this end, so you're now at an angle. But I don't wish that on you. I'm just giving an example. But it's
Yes.
going to be fine because you're going to get your product out there. You're going to be able to mingle more with people who walk by and say, "Oh, that kind of looks like such and such character. This kind
Yes.
of looks interesting." And you're so bubbly and lively that you're just going to draw people in. And I think it would be funny if you even dressed as your character.
I am actually working on that, because that's one other thing that I do is I do make I alter costumes, make costumes. I don't actually make them 100% turnkey. I get stuff and then I rework it.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's actually been kicked around a lot. What's really fun, I don't make kids comics, but I love it when kids run up to me, or little girls or women. They're like, "Wow, this is cool." I
Mhm.
mean, you, and I'm like, yes, I mean, you can too, so that's always fun and encouraging. Um,
Now with you saying that, because I was not going to bring that up
sure.
about the age dynamic of your book. With
Yes.
that being said, and you noticing a younger crowd noticing you, are there any plans to do something that would be more kid friendly as well? Or are you strictly going to stay the route that you're on right now?
Maybe one day. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna call it like it is. My creativity is less limited with the adult based. I'm not limited by what's appropriate and what is not.
Right.
So I do. One day, I've thought about it. I've kicked it around as far as a kid's comic, but I haven't got there yet. So I enjoy kind of what I'm doing right now. So it is a little
It's
difficult, especially when somebody says, "Oh, what about your comic?" I'm like, not that child, So yeah, that's problematic.
and I'm not saying something along the lines of like Bluey or Jeff the Land Shark, and not knocking those for being what they are.
Right.
Even a young teenage, you know, something along the lines my wife had me read the Fourth Wing series.
Right.
the novel series, something that was fantasy, but it did have that adult aspect to it. But if you took that out, it didn't take away from the story nonetheless. So
Correct.
even a young teenage type of age group there as well. But
I
hey,
think
you're doing your thing with what you got
I'll
right
tell you what
now.
I'll
So
do. I'll tell you what I'll do, Travis. 2026, I will give it some strong consideration and watch me just do it. So I don't want to write a check I can't cash, but
okay,
um,
January 1st of 26, when you get a text from me, like, hey, you got that
yeah,
plot written out yet?
yeah, exactly. I might just do that. Now you got me challenged. I never, okay, so the worst thing about me is I never can say no. I take on more and more responsibility and I love it. I don't know what it is. So why not? Let's add it to the list. Let's add it to the board.
Well, another thing you added to your board, and this is a lovely transition. I like how this is working out. Is you just dropped a newsletter as well.
Yes, yes, it is. The newsletter. Okay, so I know I keep saying I'm nervous. I feel more comfortable talking now. But it's a fun way to update everybody on the work I'm doing. I get nervous talking about it, and I find that it's easier to express myself in a comic book. You know, look like a comic book pages. I think it's fun, and to tell everybody what I'm up to and how I do it. Because I do get a lot of messages. People are like, "Where's this? Where's that?" And I'm like, "Y'all, I'm trying to balance everything. I'm trying to do it." And I truly value everybody that messages me. I return their message, whether it be on TikTok, Facebook, email, through the website. Everybody's time is valuable. If they felt enough about me to reach out and talk comics or ask me a question, I'm going to reach out to them. So trying to find the balance, and make it fun. And I thought the newsletter was like, this would be kind of cool instead of me talking and babbling on, going, something that read and people can go back to and read
Mhm.
again, and go back over. So
It's like that one family member that never sees anybody, and they write that one Christmas letter at the end of the year where it's 4 pages long, and we're talking about, here's how I'm doing my job, my career. Oh, here's how my husband's doing. Here's his job, his career, and here's how the kids are doing. We're gonna break down this. Susie's on honor roll, and Derek's a star athlete.
I
And
love it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
but
Yeah,
good,
that's
good.
I
Because
think
you're
it works because some people can't sit and watch video, especially like at work, and so it's always kind of fun, that they can sneak and read it. So
yeah,
yeah.
because you are the third person now that I have interviewed that either before or after I've interviewed them, they've launched a newsletter. And it's like,
I didn't
"Oh,
know
okay.
that.
All right then. That works."
Yeah.
So, um,
People love free stuff. It's free.
well, I mean, and to be fair, doing the free stuff, like for me, I've had people approach me and say, "Hey, you're doing all this stuff for all these people, man. You need to charge something, get something in return for your time." And I'm like, "I am. I'm
Right.
not charging them a monetary value. I'm charging them a little bit of their space, and they're taking a little bit of my space, but I'm trying to help them get their product out there even more."
Right.
And, it could be, you have your own platform, you have your following and everything, but you may not have the same following that I have. And if
Right.
I can take out of my following and give you even 5% of that following, I've helped you in a way.
Thank you.
So I don't need I don't need to make any money off of this. I'm just having fun talking about stuff. So, but enough about that.
And I want to say this. I appreciate you because when I first stepped into this months ago, we connected and you've been pushing me and encouraging me. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to tell you thank you because I needed that. Because there's days that I have a lot of doubt. And it helps when there's people cheering you on in the background that especially strangers you don't even know. Now I feel like your family, your friend. I really appreciate that. Not to get all mushy, but
Thanks to Jimmy.
yeah, yeah. And Jimmy, yes, Jimmy, thank you. Yes, I owe him big time. He is, yes, has been very helpful. And there's one other person I want to give a shout out to, and that's Mickey. I'm sure you've seen him a lot on stuff. He helps me a lot and encourages me a lot as well. So there's a lot of people, but that's just a few. Y'all, you guys are amazing, and I truly appreciate that because that means a lot to me. Y'all don't know me, and y'all have done nothing but help me, and that's amazing.
That's the way it should be. That's
Exactly.
the
If
way it should be.
everything that'd be so much easier.
Exactly. Like, I mean, we all love the same thing.
Yes,
And
yes,
because we have differences on creativity or difference of opinion on how character development should be done or how artwork should be done, why can't we just at the end of the day respect the fact that somebody had the courage enough to be independent, go out on their own, create their own stuff, and not really worry about whether or not they fell on their face or not, and just help and support them?
yes.
I mean, it's not that hard. We all like the same thing. Deep down, we're all nerds in this
Exactly.
community.
Exactly.
Whether or not you cosplay or you don't cosplay, you collect comic books, you don't collect comic books, you do uh, manga books or you don't. You like Dragon Ball Z or you like Naruto. It all falls under the same umbrella.
Yes.
And just appreciate just appreciate everybody for what they like.
Absolutely. Gosh, you said it great. That's amazing. Yes.
So,
Now I love it. Yes. You took the words out of my mouth.
so I am done with my questions.
Awesome.
So, except I do have one, but we've kind of hit and missed on it, and you don't really want to give too much away. So I don't know if I want to ask it or not. But what can we expect from Steele Legacy Comics moving forward?
Everything and anything. Going all in. And I will tell you this there's going to be two more comics. I'm going to do more conventions, printed comics. I do want to do video. I do want to do some shorts. I'm even thinking about bringing in some actual real people, live action things. I'm testing a lot of things out, and even maybe I'm working on a short film right now that I wrote on top of everything else. So yeah, it's there's a lot of things coming, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm gonna try to update more on my socials and do a little bit better. And then also too, next year I want to go do the bigger comic cons and do cosplay and network and really expand. I missed the San Diego Comic Con this year, and then there was another one that I missed recently. And I have a goal to hit as many as I can and meet as many people as I can because I'm seeing them all on these platforms, and I want to meet these folks in real life because they feel like they're my family. I want to give them a big hug, if nothing else, and take my picture with them. So all the people that have supported me across the interwebs. So
Well, you'll have to reach out and see if you can make it to Indianapolis then.
I would love to. I would love to.
Well, with that, I'm going to do a little closing, and just because it's weighing heavy on me right now, so this is going to be kind of off the wall.
Okay.
You mentioned everything that you're doing. On top of everything that you're doing comic wise, you are a wife and you are a mother. Don't get in too far. You love having all this stuff to do, Love that. Love that you have all these aspirations and plans and everything. Don't get caught up in a wave to where you forget about who got you there first. Don't forget about the family, and don't lose sight of what exactly it was that got you to what you wanted to do.
Yes.
You are taking on a lot. A lot. Like, you were rattling off that just now, and I'm just like, "What time does she wake up? Does she even go to sleep?"
I don't. I
Like, I know
don't.
I've messaged her before, and you've hit me back and then stopped, and then you hit me back 5 minutes later, "Sorry, I'm running right now," or, "I'm at the gym right now." I'm like, "Huh?" Like, the and then you're making movies, and you're making this and making that. Don't get burnt out, please.
I won't. I'm very blessed that I have a wonderful family that supports me. I sat for many years on the sideline in the football game and pushed everybody else in, cheered everybody else in. And it's my time, and I have the full support of my family and my friends. And so, yeah, I'm all in. No, but I will keep the balance for sure.
Good.
I'm a dancer who brought me to the dance for sure.
Well, that's it for me, but I know that you have a special little announcement that you wanted to do.
Yes.
And I will add that in when we're done with everything. I will add a link for this that you're about to talk about.
So basically, this has nothing to do with comics. I wrote an essay about the last 5 years of my life to the Elton John's AIDS Foundation. They're having a style icon contest. Voting begins tomorrow. I was selected out of the country as one of the finalists. It's not just a modeling competition, but it's also a humanitarian competition. And they love my essay, and they love, I guess, me. And I'm hoping to take it all the way, because not only do I want to be a participant in that, but I also want to help produce or promote Steele Legacy Comics any way I can, and tell people about it any way I can. And I think that would help a lot. So, win, lose, or draw, I just am glad to be here and be in this competition. But yes, I would love for y'all to vote for me and help me. If I win, I get a little bit of money, and I'll put that back in the comics and maybe buy myself a little time.
Well, I hope all goes well with that. Like I said, I will post a link
Thank
for the
you.
voting. I already have it pulled up, so as soon as this goes gets saved to YouTube and everything, I will post a link for that.
Thank you.
Um,
The voting starts tomorrow at 10 a.m.
so we'll get that posted. I will post your website, and I'm going to have a lot of fun making little TikTok shorts with this.
Awesome.
Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching this.
Yes, thank
Thank
you
you to
all.
everybody who is going to watch this after it's been live.
Thank you.
Um, Thank you to Debbie here for coming on finally after months of talking to you about getting you to do this, and then turning around and sending you, "Hey, I already did this with this interview, and I did this with this interview here. You gonna come on here soon? What we doing here?"
I know.
So keep
Thank
doing
you for
what you're
giving me the
doing.
opportunity.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank
So
you.
stay the course and just have fun with it.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Travis, very much. Thank you.
Not a problem. Everybody, have a good one.